Welcome back to another video, Outcast. Purgmirego here, and in today's video, I will be going over my Frag Punk settings that will help you win more matches.
If I was him, I would have been so heated. Oh, get out! No! Ooh. Get back! Get back! Get back! Oh, girl! Why everybody here? Nope. Play-Doh. Oh my gosh! Oh my god! Alright, for my controller settings, what I do have, I did change them up recently. So, for the base settings, let me go all the way up to top. Of course, language, English. And then for the toy front line, I just have that on. So, anti-motion sickness, I did apply that. But, if you do have motion sickness, apply it. If you don't, then you don't have to apply it. Normally, I did apply it, but then again, I did change up my settings, so it's no longer there anymore. With the automatic climbing, I did turn that on. Sprint on. Camera shake, I did turn that off because who wants to sit there and play a game and their camera is shaking with every shot they make or every kill
Join
they
the
get.
Discord. The link is down below in the
FOV,
description.
I do
so
have
that way
off,
you can stay in contact with
sprinting.
me, Purgmirego.
And then when I swap weapons on pickup, automatically do that. I do have that on. Inverted flash off. Target guide on. The paint road guide just basically let me know where people are, especially if we do play, as they say, shark clash. It lets me know which one is planted, how to get there faster or slower. I do have that on. Interactable doors, I do have that on with also a low magnification for the default for the scope magnification. And for disabled death replays, I do have that off because I like to see how I died. If I'm lagging, then it shows me, oh, you didn't hit. My ping is at now 100. For minimap, I have keep player centered on. For the size is at 1. Minimap zoom 0.65. Display location name is on, and then for that I do have it at 0.6. I do have my minimap orientation at rotate, so that way it's not fixed sitting up on top of my screen. It just rotates wherever I move. For unranked, I do have automatically join the queue on. That way I can hop into the next ranked match without sitting there waiting. For display, I do have performance on, as you can see, where it shows me my ping, my FPS, the loss percentage, the choke percentage. As you can see, my ping is at 200 right now. So that's what's showing me that. For realistic optics, I do have that off with enable button hints off. And then I do have the bottom, like the high at the bottom right loadout that shows you what weapon you got. So your AR or suppressed SMG or your shotgun sniper, whichever one you do choose, along with your pistol and your melee weapon. I do have the hide that I'll own. So that way it's like, hey, I already know how to swap weapons. I can press triangle or hold triangle, so I don't need the whole like loadout at the bottom of it on anymore. For the ping visibility, I do have that at 1. I do have auto ping on, and my color blindness, even though I personally think I'm not colorblind, I do have it at the Tritanopia, mostly because I enjoy it. Like in Fortnite, I enjoyed it at that. I also enjoyed it in here. For enemy color, I did set them to purple. You can change it up to however you want it. You got the no outline, yellow, purple, and red. I do set mine to purple just because with me it's like, why not have fun with it?
Do me a favor and go down below and smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, and share it with your family, friends, and neighbors. Why don't
whichever one you want to do. For the outline style, I do have that complex. I'm not going simple with it. I like it more at complex because it shows more. And then for headwear display, I do have that on. The whole non-competitive skin, I do have that off. With also for enemies and allies is off. For customized crosshairs, I do have it on. You can set it up how you want it, but for me, I do have it. Hold up. All right, so I do have it on, and then once you turns on, you go straight into the crosshair settings, and then after you apply it to all, it basically just says, hey, how do you want your crosshairs? So you can technically go cross, T-shape, sight, whatever you want it on to, and then just keep changing it that way. I do like mine at a cross. And then with that, the size of the crosses, especially the center dot cross, I do have that at 4.1 with the horizontal being at a 7, along with the vertical being at 7. The thickness of it is at a 2 for both of them, and the center gap is at a 0.45. I do have an outline on that way because why not? I can change the color of the outline, so let's just leave it there. So outline size, I do have it at 1 with a transparency of 0.5. For rotate, I do have 0, mostly because I don't want it to rotate. And like I said, you can change the color of your crosshairs. I do have mine at an electric blue color, along with the outside and everything else being at a neon purple. So for transparency, I do have it at 1 with a dynamic wallpaper for both of them. And then I do have the, like I said, the outer lines is on with a horizontal and a vertical, thick and length at 2. And then I have the center gap of that as a 1.25 with an outline on. So like that. You don't have to follow these crosshair settings. If you want to, that's up to you. But this is how I like my crosshairs. You can always change yours to any type of thickness, any type of length you want. But as you can see, I do have purple for my outer, like my outlines. And then with transparency, still 1. I do have the slight crosshair color on. Honestly, why not? If you got everything else colorized, let's just turn that on. And I do have this one at a simple gold color. Now for controller settings, since I like to play basically FPS games and it's based on how I play Fortnite. That way I don't have to go into my DualSense Edge controller and change up the whole controller thing. I can just change it to my Fortnite controller, stick on Fortnite like presets, and then just play the game like that. So for starters, only thing that I did change would be my crouch. I changed that to R3 because that's how I crouch in Fortnite and also Apex Legends. I just crouch with R3. That way I can map my back pedal to R3 and then I can just say, okay, I can just sit there and back pedal crouch while I'm searching
Follow me on
boxes or
TikTok
whatever in
at
Fortnite or Apex
purgmirego.
Legends. Well, Apex Legends because Fortnite they don't have boxes. But anyways, past that. Since this one, I just have it at R3 because why not? Everything else set to R3. Let's keep this at R3. I did change my push to talk since when I did change my crouch button, I did change my push to talk to circle. One thing that I am going to change is my ping. My ping, since like I said, since I do play Fortnite a lot, I'm changing my ping to how Fortnite have theirs. So my ping is now left. And then what changed when my ping changed to left click was my weapon inspect. Now my weapon inspect is up and I don't mind having it there. That way I can just be like, okay, I want to inspect my weapon. Up. Fine. Since I don't press it a lot. But I do ping a lot, so left click. Now for sensitivity. For my look sensitivity, I do have it at 1.05 with the inverted camera being off. And I do have my y-axis sensitivity at 0.72. I do have the camera sensitivity at custom, mostly because I like to take control of how it moves, how it adjusts, and how do I lock onto people more. So you will see it at 0.55 with a view input curve at 1.7. My view input curve is at 1.7 mostly because my controller doesn't have much stick drift or none at all. So with that, it also helps me just lock on to people much more. So let's say that, oh, I want to lock on like this person right here. I can do it just like that. And I can, like I said, and then say someone's out there farther away. My input curve is right there. onto him. So it gives me more control over the weapon that I'm using instead of just now. Back to sensitivity. For a movement stick dead zone, I do have that at 0.08. Like I said, because I don't have stick drift, so
Follow
both
me
of
on
them for
Twitch
view
where I
and
am
movement will be at
live every day.
0.08. Do not turn on your ramp delay. Just leave that off unless you do have stick drift. Leave it off. And then for my max time, I do have it at 0.2. For my extra yaw, extra pitch for not aiming, 2.5. And then for when I am aiming, I do have it down to 1.5, mostly because I still have more control over it all. I do have my cursor sensitivity at 1, so that's basically the little circle thing that you see right here. That's the cursor, so I do have it at 1. You don't need it to move so fast, so just leave it at 1 if it is at 1. And vibration, like I said in my Fortnite videos, you are diabolical if you leave it on. Vibration hinders your accuracy, so leave it off. And of course, I do have aim assist on because I am a controller player and not in this game. So if you go against mouse and keyboard, you want your aim assist on so that way you can lock onto them also. Now for my video settings, I do have it at a 125. I wish it can go higher, but we got it at 125. I only wish it goes higher for thumbnail ideals, but we ain't gonna think about that right now. But for the filter, I do have this at vivid, mostly because I enjoy seeing the pretty colors that this game offers. Because you can change it how you want it. Mild just makes it look saturated. Along with soft, it gives you a little bit of color, but vivid gives you every color that you want, like the green, the red, the orange, the all of that, the brown, gray. It shows you everything. Some people can say default also shows you everything, but vivid just makes it pop more. So for the post processing intensity, it's just on low normally.
Do me a favor and go down
If I
below and
did
smash
have a
that
smaller
like button,
screen,
smash that
it would
subscribe button,
be
and
much
share it with
higher.
your
But
family,
right now,
friends, and
we ain't
neighbors.
even worried
Why
about that
don't you?
because it's not giving me the option to change it. But for my menu frame rate, I do have that at 60. Mostly because 60 frames in a FPS game is amazing. So I do keep that at 60. It can go down to 30 if you are like having a little bit of lag like I was. But right now it's at 60. So I'm keeping it at 60. And then my gameplay frame rate, I do have it at unlimited. I can change it up to 30, 60, 120, 144, but unlimited means that everything gonna run smoothly. So for brightness, I do have it at 1. I don't want it too bright. I don't want it too dark. So I want the colors to just pop naturally. So keeping it at 1 on the preset how it was, how it did come to me, I'm leaving it there, not about to touch it. For sharpness, I didn't touch that. That is at a 1.5. I don't need it. I don't need everything just coming at me so much. Now for vertical sync, I do have that off mostly because I really don't care too much about it. Like how I'm not finna play it like that. So just leave it off. Now for simplification. At first I had this off. Mostly because I enjoy looking at the like texture of the rocks, the leaves and all of that. But what I did realize with by leaving it off is that say that you got an enemy, they can hide inside of them and you won't see them. So if you leave it on, it just dulls it all out, make it like a flat background basically, and say an enemy hides in it, you automatically sees that enemy, so you can start shooting on them more faster. Now, for everything else I do have here for effects complexity, I do have that as standard, mostly because I do like to see that, hey, I'm getting healed. Let's make it look pretty, basically, how I would say. And depth effects off. Some people do like them on, but I like them off because they take over so much of the screen in front of you. So why not just leave it off? Damage numbers, leave it on. So that way I know how much damage I'm putting on the person. And then you got the UI simplification. I do have that on. Mostly because I don't want so much sitting up there in my UI. I just want the numbers, the time that we got, and the name of the map. That is it. For animation reduction, I do have that off mostly because I do enjoy seeing the little like animation pop up like, oh, you got a quad kill, triple kill pop up and have a little bit of character to them. That's what I say. And then for graphics, I do have it at balance with a scene dynamic blur off. UI resolution, I do have that on high, and also animation, I do have that on. Now for audio, my master volume is at 100 with a music volume at 50. I do have sound effects a little bit higher than music because you want to hear footsteps, you want to hear gunfire, you want to hear every sound effect that you can so that way you know where an enemy is at. So for voice lines, I do have that at 50. Now for my announcer voice, I do have all of that at 100, and then along with the button sounds. Honestly, I don't know what the button sounds for. To me, it's probably like, oh, press a button in game or press my button on my controller. I don't see why people want that. I just leave it at 100 and not touch it. But the audio playback in the background, leave that on, along with character voice simplification off. Honestly, it'd probably be better to have it on, but right now I'm gonna keep it off. Now for voice chat, some people don't like to speak in this game. Yes, we do have voice chat, and I did say some people don't like to speak. I personally do, mostly because I do stream. So I leave that at 50 along with the main switch on, but I do have my mic volume right at 50. But my input for team is open mic, and then my voice chat input for the party is also open mic, mostly because why not give out comms? Hey, he's at B. Hey, he's at A. Everybody move to them or pick this card. Any of that basically to help you talk to your team and communicate how to play the game. So for privacy, I basically did not touch these. Like, let's be honest, whispers in games, I don't really care about that. So turn it off. Along with like the non-friend whispers, I do turn that off mostly because I don't want my basic like chat field box just spamming with stuff. So leave it off. Now for team ups, I do have that on mostly because it's like someone might want to invite me to a party. Why not let them? Just leave it on. And then for, like I said, allow players to join my party. Fine by me. I would turn it off so that I can do invite only because I don't want anyone just joining, basically. So I'm gonna leave that off and just turn it to invite only. So off and then invite only. No, I'm gonna leave that on because say that I do invite someone and they're not able to join when it's off, so I'll leave it on. Now joining ongoing matches. I wish COD had this feature to turn it on and off. Leave it off. Any match that's already going on, you do not want to join into it, especially if they're losing the match and then you have to sit there and watch it. No, leave it off. Now for friend requests, I do have that on because I rather people add me and I can sit there and either accept them or not and play the game with them. And then for a friend invite duel, I leave it on just so that way you can like, oh, 1v1ing, cool. Just sitting there having fun with your friend, talking while just mess with each other. Cool, leave it on. Now for friend spectating, say that you're in a match. Okay, your friend decides, oh hey, I want to play with my friend. Invite to the game. Sure, join my party. Cool. You already have a full team on your side, and you're in the match already. Your friend can come sit up in there and look at your whole entire gameplay, and then when that game is over with, y'all can then hop into a match together. Now, custom match invites. I'm glad they do have this. Anyone can start a custom match. You don't have to be a partner. You like in Fortnite, you don't have to do anything. Just start a custom match, play it with your friends, play it with your family, whoever you play the game with. So for future references, I will be doing custom matches on here just mostly because I do want to sit there and engage with people that view my content. So custom matches will be taking place over here. And until I get to 1,000 subscribers or Twitch followers or TikTok followers, I will be over here doing custom matches. And then when I do get to 1,000 on YouTube, Twitch, or TikTok, I will be doing customs also on Fortnite. Now for streamer mode, I just turn them off because I really don't care if people know that, hey, he's a streamer. Go for him. Or, hey, I'm not trying to hide my name from people. If y'all want to see my name in the game, leave it on. So just turn it all off. For profile, of course, public, and then other platforms you can link. So I just leave it at that. But those are my steady controls. I will also throw in some gameplay of how I did great with these controls. These controls are built better than how my controls were at first, so I do enjoy them. And one thing about this game that I do enjoy that Fortnite did not have is that you have the training arena. In the training arena, you can pick any weapon that you want. So, like, say primary weapon. I want to test out sniper. I want to test out marksman, or so on. Shotgun, submachine gun, AR, or an LMG, or even your secondary weapons, pistols and your melees, the knife and the axe and the hammer. I want to test all of that. Okay, cool. I can come into training mode, test it all out, see what I find better and what I don't like, and then say, hey, I want to just test out all the characters too to see who I want to main. So far, I am maining Axon mostly because he reminds me of Octane in Apex Legends, but he is my main. But like I said, you can come here, test out every legend, well, every character that you see, or if they call what funks, no frags. I think they call punks. One of them. You can just test them out, test out their skills with unlimited usability, and you can see who you want to main.